How many five-star prospects could the Georgia Bulldogs sign in the 2025 class? That's what I'm talking about in today's video. Of course, it's January, right? This is recruiting season. The staff is all across the country, hitting the recruiting trail, trying to find new targets, new prospects, adding to the recruiting board. And after signing the #1 class in 2024, it looks like the Dogs are going to try to do it again in the 2025 class. It is absolutely loaded in the state of Georgia. I think the Dogs have a real chance to lock down the Peach State if they want to, but plenty of five stars out there, and they've already got a couple on the commit list, but I'm going to be talking about how many they could sign, I guess, in 11 months. I know it's early, but this is shaping up to be another elite recruiting class for the Dogs. So let's start at the top, right? The #1 quarterback in the country, Bryce Underwood, is committed to LSU. Kid's not going to Georgia. But the #2 player in the country, David Sanders of Providence Day, Christian, I believe it's in the Charlotte area. Elite offensive tackle, excellent frame. I had someone connected to the Georgia program, inside the Georgia program, actually tell me that they think he is the #1 player in the country. This could come down to Georgia and Clemson. I think Florida State is still a team to know. I'm sure Ohio State's trying to get in the mix. They're also going to have a very, very good 25 class. But this is a guy that Georgia has been on for a long, long time. He's towards the top of their board. And right now, I think you have to like Georgia's chances. I'm not ready to say that they are the leader for this young man just yet, but he's the #2 player in the country, #1 offensive lineman, has NFL multi-million dollars written all over him. Right now, Georgia sits in a really, really good spot. The #3 player in the country, right now ranked as the #1 player in Georgia, is Elijah Griffin. If you follow my stuff, if you're on Dawg Post, if you've been watching this YouTube channel for a while, you already know about this young man out of Savannah. He is a game wrecker. That's what an opposing coach told me about this kid when he was a sophomore. I mean, this guy is dynamic. The #3 player in the country had 97 tackles, 31 tackles for a loss, 17.5 sacks, 6'4", 275 pounds, just an absolute monster, can move inside and play there if he continues to add more weight and muscle, which he probably should. Can stop the run, get after the quarterback, just a dominant, game-wrecking defensive lineman. He is elite, and right now, I think this is still probably going to come down to Georgia and South Carolina. I've been told his mother loves South Carolina, but Georgia's made a big-time impression on him. He was in Athens last weekend. He was at Florida this past weekend. He's going to take some visits, but at the end of the day, I still think this is going to come down to Georgia and South Carolina. If I had to make a decision today, it would be Georgia. So he's definitely a guy to know. Another guy already, on the commit list, five-star Justice Terry, #8 player in the country. He had 78 tackles, 13 sacks last year out of Manchester High School. Just muscles on muscles. Sure doesn't look like a 16-year-old kid, but dude looks like he could play for the Dogs tomorrow. He is another just game-wrecking bowling ball, just unblockable. Great max effort guy, can chase down the ball carrier, moves really well, about 6'4", again, probably 275 pounds, maybe a little less than that, but whatever he is, he's all muscle, top 10 player in the country, and right now he is on Georgia's commit list, a guy that they recruited for a while, got him on board early. Right now, I think he will stick. #9 player in the country, another kid from the Peach State, Zayden Walker, a guy you probably heard a lot about because I've been talking about him for years, ever since I saw him as a freshman at Sly County. Running back, linebacker, elite, 6'3", 225, another kid that's just ripped, all muscle. Looks the part, had 40 tackles, 16.5 tackles for a loss, 7 sacks, 27 quarterback hurries, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries. Saw him make an interception in an all-star game as a freshman. He's got hands, he runs, he hits, has a true nose for the football, just a dynamic elite linebacker. Now, they already have Jaden Perlotti on the commit list, and Zayden Walker, I've been told by multiple people, is their top linebacker target. They're going to have to fight off Florida State, teams like Auburn, Clemson, maybe Miami, but he is a big, big deal, top 10 player in the country. But right now, I think Georgia probably sits in the best position for him. So he's another elite linebacker from the state of Georgia to know about. Of course, Julian Lewis, top 10 player in the country now, reclassified, was the #1 player in the country in 2026. reclassified to 2025. Just an incredible quarterback prospect. Threw for 3,000 yards, 48 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions last year for Carrollton. Committed to Southern Cal, but if he opens things up, like I've written on Dawg Post, you can go read that. I like Georgia's chances to land him. They need a big-time quarterback in the 25 class. They were trying to sign 2 in 2024. That did not work out. They just signed 1 in Ryan Puglisi, who is very good, but they're looking to get one of the best across the country in 2025. Julian Lewis, I think, could be that guy. 5-star kid, again, from the state of Georgia, top 10 player in the country. Now we go outside of the top 10. Number 14 player in the country, Jamie French. I think I pronounced that right. Jamie French out of Mandarin High School in Jacksonville, same high school that Carson Beck played for. He caught 62 passes for 1,247 yards, 14 touchdowns, was committed to Alabama, backed off that commitment when Nick Saban retired, like everyone else apparently over there in Tuscaloosa. And shortly after that, Kirby Smart landed a helicopter at Mandarin High School to check on Mr. French, dynamic, elite wide receiver, one of the best receivers across the country. I think Florida State might be in the best position to land him the second, but Georgia's going to make a real run at him. Another 5-star, already on the commit list, Ellis Williams. Kirby and Todd Hartley went to go watch him play basketball a couple nights ago. He caught 25 passes, 530 yards, 7 touchdowns, 6'7", 235, could play some outside linebacker, edge defender if they need him to, but he's a big body pass catcher, really good athlete, and he's a top 25 player in the country. Big deal, one of the best players in the state. They're gonna have to hold on to him. Florida State, Miami, Clemson, Auburn, I mean, you name it. All these schools are gonna wanna try to flip him from Georgia. Georgia's got to hold on to him, but he is clearly one of the best overall prospects in the country, and he might be the number 1 tight end across the country in that 2025 class, so definitely a guy to keep an eye on. So right there, I just named 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 5-star prospects that I could see signing with Georgia in this class. Now, these rankings are going to fluctuate, right? Some of these guys will drop, more players will be added. Georgia's still looking for guys to put towards the top of their board, right? This is not, there's 11 months to go until signing day. So they're going to add guys, they're going to pursue guys a little heavier down the road. So there could be other 5-stars who jump in the mix and look at Georgia. So again, long way to go, but it's January and we're going to talk recruiting, and I want to be your guy that you get your recruiting news for. We've got lots of recruiting soup over on Dawg Post, but this is the off season. We're going to talk about recruiting. I know a lot of people, say that they're not going to follow recruiting anymore. A lot of these kids who don't pick Georgia, a lot of these Georgia fans are getting their feelings hurt, this and that a 17-year-old didn't pick their school, whatever. Recruiting still matters. It is the lifeline of this program. Kirby loves to recruit, and that's how you build a program, is right here. And I want to tell y'all all about these young high school kids that are either committed to Georgia or could commit to Georgia. You still have to get the best players in the country. And yes, there's the transfer portal that has kind of made things a little different now, but you still have to go get the best players, keep them, and turn them into elite college football players. Right now, they are recruiting a lot of elite high school players, and a lot of them are going to sign with Georgia in this 25 class. It's going to be a good one, mainly because a lot of them are from the state of Georgia. So a lot of guys to keep an eye on. Some borderline 5-stars to know. Josh Petty, offensive tackle out of Fellowship Christian in Roswell. If you're in the Roswell area, make sure to go see this kid. We watched him play early August. It was his first game of the season last fall. Kid just dominated in the heat, 100 degrees. He was playing offensive tackle, defensive tackle, and was just crushing kids. I think he could probably be a 5-star prospect when it's all said and done. They're going to have to fight off a lot of schools. Tennessee, it was Alabama, maybe not anymore. The usual, the Clemsons, the Tennessees, Miamis, Ohio States, everyone's going to want this kid. And Georgia is firmly in the mix. I don't think they lead, but they're in the running. Solomon Thomas, another kid out of Jacksonville, high 4-star, could be a 5-star down the road. Believe he's committed to Florida State, but he told me, hey, I'm still looking at Georgia. I'm not burning any bridges. Kirby Smart flew a helicopter in to check on him when he was in the Jacksonville area a few days ago. He's one to know. Jonte Gilbert at Douglas High School in Atlanta, former Ohio State commitment at defensive back. Big time ball hawking, safety, could play some corner as well. versatile defensive back. I think Clemson and South Carolina are probably making him more of a priority than Georgia is, but definitely a guy to keep an eye on. Usman Chroma, a running back out of Lee County, I think could be a 5-star prospect. Dude is a bowling ball with speed, a lot of size, a lot of athleticism. My top running back in the state of Georgia, big time player. Georgia's gonna have to fight off Florida State and a few others for him. Zion Grady out of Alabama, former Alabama commitment, just a sack machine, 6'4", 215, elite pass rusher off the edge. He likes Georgia, has been at Athens a number of different times, and I do think Georgia's a real player for him, as well as Jared Smith, another edge defender that they've had on campus multiple times from the Birmingham area, I believe, out of Vestavia Hills, maybe not. I probably should have checked that. That could be the rival school. I don't mean to get that wrong, but kid's a big-time player for sure, and I know that Georgia is very high on his list. So it's never easy to go into Alabama and take one of their best players and get them to Athens, but it looks like Georgia could do that in that 25 class. So a lot of 5 stars in the mix. Of course, if you want even more recruiting scoop, head on over to Dawg Post. I got you covered. And I've had you covered for years and years and years. So if you want the latest Georgia Bulldog recruiting news, Dawg Post is the place to be, and this YouTube channel is the place to be. You can sign up for Dawg Post by signing up to our free newsletter. That link is down below. It's free to sign up. And make sure you buy a subscription when you're over on the site, checking out all the inside scoop that we have over on the website. Hope you enjoyed this video. A lot of more recruiting videos coming. I'm gonna keep y'all plugged in like no one else in this 25 class. I can promise you that. Thanks for watching this video. Hope to see you over on the website.